everyone, and welcome to another episode of A Tale of Dice, where I, together with my beautiful friends across all of the Netherlands, are gathered here on Discord to play the beautiful game of Pathfinder 2nd edition. And welcome to this very quaint and small one-shot episode, as we are sad to miss our good friends Maxime and Crystal this day. So for today, I have crafted a nice little one-shot adventure for our beautiful companions right here, which I would like to introduce a little bit just right now, because during this episode, our heroes will be scouring the desert in search for long-forgotten ruins. You see, these ruins were built on an ancient place that has a thin veil between this world and the first world, also known as the Feywild, where very many chaotic magics appear. So during this whole one-shot, because in a one-shot a lot of weird shit can happen, we will not have the artifact with our party members, but instead you will all be able to do all kinds of chaotic things. So if you wish to create the small illusions, they only cost 50 llama points right now. So if y'all viewers want to aid or hinder our companions, then please do so. The Wild Magic Search is very cheap this time, only 500 llama points to get there. So yeah, chaotic magics will erupt hopefully very often, and we can go have a little bit of a weird day today. So with that being said, shall we play a game? So, to jump into our game for today, the three of you have traveled through a vast tunnel network in the mountain range known as the Lifsund Mountains. You have traveled these paths together to eventually enter into the largest sand pit known to man on this continent, the Tsunade Desert. As of right now, as you take your last final steps out of this cave network, you can already see the early morning sunlight caressing the exit of this cave. And as the three of you step forward, before you see the vast sandy dunes of the Tsunade Desert. Not completely empty, but here, while you are still leaving the mountains, you can see rocky protrusions coming from any which way, and eventually, as you turn your head to peer further and further into the distant, different sandstorms obscure most of your view. You look up, and it is a cloudless day, as most days are within the desert here. And as you peer forward, one of you, or perhaps each one of you, grabs your map to take a good look and to realize that you have indeed exited the Lifsund Mountains where you want to be. Because the Alcahadera ruins should lie but a few days' travel into this desert. All of you had researched this place beforehand, knowing that the Alcahadera ruins were built on a place where the veil between this world and the lush world full of chaotic magics known as the First World was very thin. And time would tell that by some certain alignment of the stars, this veil has once again gotten to the point where it is so thin that magics are bleeding into this world. Stories of magnificent creatures entering the desert here in this area, but also different kinds of flora, fauna, and metals and other ores that normally wouldn't be found here on this plane now should be found in abundance here. All of you might know each other from previous adventures, or you might just have the same common goal to get here and see what can be found. You might be here for simple monetary gain, perhaps research, perhaps magic or any other kind of reagent that this place has to offer to the likes of you. Only you know that for sure. But what you do know is that these two individuals beside you are at least capable enough to carry with you on this adventure. And where there is powerful magics like this bleeding into the world, there should also be an abundance of danger. So, as you gaze outward over these lands, Charlie, can you describe your character for today to us?
All right. So, I'm playing Greenish, a rugged, large-built human, a fighter with some druidic capabilities and knowledge, but mostly an expert warrior. He has a very tanned skin, tanned and red, not from ancestry or heritage, but from lots of exposure to the sun and not having access to sunscreen. He carries himself with a measure of humbleness that you don't often find with people as large and muscular as he is. He carries with him a dwarven war axe on his back, as well as a wooden shield with an animal skin strapped around it. He carries a longbow as well around his shoulder and a quiver of arrows right by his waist. And his clothing is a complex, layered bundle of different scrapped together materials, and mostly just offers some padding from danger. It's padded armor, and not much more than that. But it does seem to contain a huge abundance of pockets in order to store things in that he might steal or find. He has a long blackish beard, dark brown, with some salt and pepper hair on top of his head, though that seems to be swiftly balding. And he has an old gray and blackish cloak that he right now is covering himself from the sun with. He looks around and he smiles and sighs. He's back home. The desert is where he was born, where he spent most of his life, and hopefully where he will return to the sand as the last of his nomad clan. But for now, I suspect he came here mainly to go along with the looting, but also as a bit of a guide, seeing as the desert is his terrain of expertise.
Very nice. And as your guide steps forward first, and he smiles at the thought of getting back home, Aif, who stands there next to him?
Next to him stands a pug shumi, a dog, with a flat nose, big brown eyes, giant scar down the right side of his face. He stands at a little under 3 feet tall, and he's squinting his eyes against the sun, keeps licking his nose, and keeps shaking his fur. He's not very happy right now. Bork is a barbarian. He's carrying a battle axe, which is almost the same size as he is. He's also got a hand axe, which looks like a battle axe when he's holding it. And he's got a crossbow strapped to his back. He's dressed in a simple tunic. In a slightly less warm climate, he will also wear a red cape around it, but he didn't need that here. For the occasion, he's put on boots. He doesn't like wearing shoes but he also doesn't like having blisters on the bottom of his feet because the sand is too hot to walk on. Bork is not so happy to be here. He's gotten in a little deep with the wrong people. He's got to make back some money, but this is not his preferred environment. Very much not his preferred environment.
So as at home Charlie finds himself with his character, you and Bork would much rather be anywhere else. But nonetheless, the stories that you heard of this place, the amount of magical reagents, should catch a pretty penny on the right market. To end this trio of adventurers of this session, another person steps up. Vincent.
The one saying up is called Kalo Ishtib. He's an elf. The first impression you get when you see him is someone who's basically proud of doing. He seems very proud, not proud like arrogant, but proud like he's happy with what he's done. He thinks he achieved quite a lot, and is ready to do more. And he's happy to be heading to this ruin that he thinks very little have been here before, and basically wants to paint on the ruin and see what kind of other things he can find, and see if he can find a nice little place to basically satisfy his obsession, which is to put the images that they are in his head into the physical world in specific places.
Wait. You want to paint on the ruins?
Yeah, he's an artiste.
There.
And basically your equivalent of a graffiti artist in the current age.
Right. I was imagining those annoying tourists who write on the Chinese wall and then, it has to be renovated.
Basically him, but he does it a little bit more elaborately.
We have Grainish that has come home, we have Bork that has come for money, and we have Kalo who has come to vandalize. Very good. So, as the three of you step forward, you can already, first all three of you go ahead and make me a perception check real quick.
Percepzione.
Percepzione.
Natural one. Good start.
The early morning sunlight seems to blind you, Kalo, as you step forward after being in those dark cave networks for quite a while.
12 for 21.
21, nice.
30-20.
30-20, nice. Bork, perhaps it is because you are a little bit uncomfortable that you're a little bit on edge. Grainish, you have been here many times, so the differences in atmosphere are quite apparent to you. Both of you take a step outside of these cave networks, the early morning sunlight for now still being a very pleasant addition after the coldness of the caves, but knowing that this temperature will only rise, something is carried with this sunlight. Something is carrying with this sand. You take a look, and the sand almost seems to sparkle a little bit before you, and there's a trembling in the air. You have heard the stories of how magic is starting to permeate this landscape, and you can already begin to feel it a little bit. How long before something chaotic or weird might happen is something that you guys will have to keep an eye out for your travels in here.
May I make a desert lore check to see if I see this as something regular or familiar?
No, you wouldn't even. You already succeeded with your perception check. You have been here quite a while. Like the sand being a little bit sparkly, this tremble in the air is not normal.
Okay.
This must be those effects that you heard of the first world bleeding through in here.
All right.
I will
I'll make an alcohol lore check to figure out how much whiskey I'm gonna need to get through this fucking day.
Go ahead and make a lore brewing check. Or alcohol, if that's the actual lore skill that you had
It
chosen.
actually says alcohol. Where
You need to be yay drunk to go through.
Oh no, where did the thing go? I just clicked away. Roll 20? What the hell? Oh no, give me a
Should
sec,
I roll
guys.
for you?
Technical difficulty.
Bork
I'm getting there.
Aif, shall I roll in the meantime for you?
No. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Continue. Fuck off.
You say continue, but we're waiting for you.
20 plus.
I think they're telling roll 20 to continue.
17.
17.
Yes.
You know yourself quite well. So, in your travels here, you did a little bit of research of the effects of this desert, and you know exactly how much whiskey you can take to get like the edge off and not be uncomfortable, but still not enough so you could actually like die of dehydration. And you could take a couple of sips.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take a couple sips.
So, Grainish was actually going to mention that as he sees you drink. Are you sure you want to do that? It is
just
not
kind
good.
of growls.
Very well. Then, has everybody packed enough water and food for the remainder of the journey?
I believe so.
Yes, water especially will be...
Wiggles his butt a little bit, and you hear sloshing coming from a full water skin.
Excellent. Just making sure I know we checked beforehand, but I would not want to arrive there and, well, it would be a shame for us to make this journey only to return with fewer of us than left. Anything we need before we continue on this journey?
Daddy with the loudest motherfucking
Yeah, holy shit,
every time.
Bowser. Just trying to roleplay. No. Anything else we need to discuss before we head further in this journey? Anything we need to know? Allergies, weaknesses, incredible deep phobias and fears.
No, when you've seen the things I've seen, you're usually pretty steadfast. Should be fine. And this guy...
Oh man, the microphone didn't pick up on it.
It didn't.
I let out a pretty decent burp.
Oh, nice. Very well.
And this guy doesn't seem to be much afraid of anything.
Yes. Well, they call it liquid courage for a reason, I suppose. Let us,
Not like I need it, okay? Calm down.
Yes. I'm calm. And Grainish kind of looks confused. Never mind. Let us continue then. I think it was over in that direction.
You think?
Is anyone else trained in survival?
Yeah.
Bork?
Hell no.
Okay, then I suppose I will, we have an approximate location, right?
You have an approximate location, yeah.
Okay.
It should be the lifts and mountains that you have just exited open up into the Tsunade Desert in like a southwestern angle. And somewhere around there should be the ruins in about 2 to 3 days travel, depending on how well things go from here on out.
All right. It's going to be a hard journey. I won't lie, but from what I have seen, I'm impressed with the two of you, so I'm sure we'll be fine if we.
Well, that was easy.
If we have each other's back. Grainish starts walking. My tribe, we used to camp out near these ruins once every 2 years or so. So I think is the word here because it was a lot of years ago when I was last here. I like to think I know the desert pretty well, though.
Good to know. Good to have you on our side.
Let us see.
All right then. So, as you begin to scale down the last pieces of this rocky mountainside to eventually exit the rocky terrain and get into the desert, what are the travel tactics that you will be employing during all of this? Is there anything special that you would like to do while you guys make your way through the sand?
Well, I will be leading with survival, so I won't be, I think. Or is that not part of the tactics?
I mean, you would have to at least use one of your tactics to survive and get there.
Yeah.
You could choose to do another activity and then half your movement speed. I'm not sure how your terrain expertise is playing into all of this.
Well, I have assurance survival, so I can always
Ooh.
take 10 on survival, which will give us a pretty nice result. Desert lore is also a thing, but I think survival... Yeah, could I use desert lore for this if the DC is lower?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a fairly well use of the lore skill. Like you've lived here for a long time.
Yeah. So I'll use desert lore for that. Do we want to go there as quickly as possible, or do we want to take it slow? If I use survival to like forage in the meantime, maybe we can find. Yeah,
Or on the desert.
well, yeah, there might be cacti or an oasis. You know, like it might be good to gather supplies, but would we have enough for there and back, Wouter? Barring emergencies.
I would say, given that you guys knew exactly where you were heading during this adventure, I would say that you have at least enough like rations and water with you for the journey.
That's
But nonetheless, you do know that the oasis holds within it very many treasures, and it being now also influenced by the actual plane of existence where vitality and chaotic magics hail from, perhaps those jewels of this desert might be even more shiny than normal.
Oh, I shared this with the group that there might be an added benefit to finding an oasis, especially with the magic coursing through the desert right now.
Okay.
Does any one of you have? Well, first off, Greenish, you can go ahead and make me a lore desert check to see what kind of information you have over these lands normally. And then the question to our other two companions: do you have any lore-based skills or intelligence-based skills that might help you with understanding what kind of magic might be out there in the wilds right now?
No.
I only have a Kana, but not so much
Kana?
religion.
I have a -1 on intelligence, but if I can, I will use my imprecise scent to keep my nose out for anything that smells like plants. That's a 30-foot range.
Very good. That is a nice tactic to have. And you, Kalo, can go ahead and make me a religion check.
There is I think, 22. Let me double check.
22.
Because I was on the wrong page. Let's see. Religion is I have I have in religion I have 6. So that is a 20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right. And Greenish, your Lord Desert check.
Sorry, I was 17.
17. All right. It's been a while since you've been here, but you do remember like the quote unquote basics. There are many different critters that you might not see in first glance, but different kinds of snakes, scorpions, spiders, even the like, do dwell within the desert sands. You also know that when rain would fall within the desert, it would bloom up in an instant, and where you would normally see just death and the absence of life, a little bit of rainwater can go a great deal with flourishing it up and sprouting all different kinds of plant life. You also know that within the desert there might be some people / things that that might be a little bit dangerous. You do know that there are, next to normal people, there are 2 different kinds of creatures that would also make their home in this region. A group of basically scorpion centaurs with like the hind body of a scorpion, but like the torso of a man. You know one of these. Sorry?
I want to kill one.
These creatures do make their livelihoods like in villages here in the mountainside. You know of one tribe that is called the Chitauri that would live here. And next to that, you also know that there is a race of basically ant-men. So like insectoid creatures called Trikreen, who also have like large burrows within the sand that seem to have like some sort of hive mind mentality and even can communicate telepathically with each other. So keeping an eye out on those creatures and their tracks, because you're not sure if it's worth it to run into them. Most of these encounters, like, they're both pretty territorial, and most of the encounters with these do not go, let's call it friendly,
Wow.
between
All right.
humanoids and them.
So let's avoid the chitinous creatures. Fair enough.
Also, when I first see the sand and I see the color of the sand, I'm gonna take a little minute or 5, using my feet tweet appearances, to then basically shift the color of my cloak to the color of the sand as well as I can. So for sneaky
Very nice.
shenanigans, I have crafting for that if you want me to roll.
Yeah, go ahead and make me a check for that with your tools that you work for those.
I have sterling artisan's tool, so that is a total of 22.
Total of 22. All right. With that, as Kalo begins to get the cloak in working order, Greenish, you share this information with the rest of your party members?
Oh yeah. I go on
Yeah.
a long, winded talk about all the dangers this desert could hold.
Interesting.
And while this goes on, you are talking about the Chitori tribe, at which moment, as a Fata Morgana, the desert itself presents you with a beautiful visage of a cute little scorpion rabbit. Scorpion bottom, bunny top. As a ghost image is redeemed by our very own Crystal. Thank you for being here still, Crystal. Yay.
Yay.
Immediately dashes forward and tries to attack it with his battle axe.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Greenish is still talking about the Chitori as suddenly he sees Bork run off towards it, and it's like, oh, what is? Oh, don't! That's all he gets
17.
out.
How much?
17.
17. And as you run up to this illusion-based magic of a scorpion-rabbit combination, you see the point where the rabbit piece ends and the scorpion piece begins. And like a good surgeon with your battle axe, you slice it right down the middle to have two poofs of scorpion and bunny make before both of those disappear into thin air.
His ears kind of perk up, and he's like a dog who tried to catch a snowball and doesn't understand where it went. Just
like the raccoon washing the cotton candy, and then it disappearing and it being like...
we will not mention that. That is just heartbreaking. I'm talking about a dog who just caught a snowball and doesn't understand where it went.
Okay, friend. That's a lot more wholesome.
There's a different vibe behind it. Okay.
All right. As this illusion is
Shut
created,
up, Charlie.
as this illusion is created, you also feel, with like the disappearance of this illusion, like a small shiver of dread crawl across your spine. As Crystal has also given me an anti-lock that I will use during this session.
But you will keep it just in case for this one moment that will never come.
Who knows? So, Kalo, as you are making your cloak, you also remember back with your religion check, where Greenish can tell you a lot about like how the desert is normally. You did some research into the people of these ruins, what they worshipped, and like what their religion was. And you remember stories that the ruins roughly translate, the Al-Kahadira roughly translates to the Green Gate, as it is like it was a place where they would welcome in the vitality of nature itself, because the desert itself was a very harsh environment, but these ruins were built around a like yearly cycle where at one point the veil between this world and the other world would be so thin that like vitality could stream into this place. So like nature-based magics you would expect, like maybe some lush greenery out of nowhere where it normally shouldn't be, but also with that different creatures that might also be a little bit more shall we say ferocious than normal plant life would be.
Okay. Interesting.
All right.
So Guys, I've been reading up on the old inhabitants of the ruins, and maybe you can corroborate Greenish, but they seem to be very into life magic and nature stuff.
So, can I make a nature check? I'm trained. See what I know about them.
Sure thing.
Going well so far. That's an 18 plus a... Scroll. Plus 7, that's 25.
25. Now that Kalo begins to talk about this, you do remember indeed, Granish, these sorts of places where it's basically like a yearly oasis without actually having the need of oasis water. Like while there weren't actual like deposits of fluids here, these ruins, the Al-Kahadira society, lived and thrived by pulses of nature growth, inducing magics that would come once in a while. You remember stories of like walking plants that were instilled with so much vitality that they actually came to life.
So, Granish shares. Yes. I do not know of the old inhabitants. We do not have stories of them, but the people of my tribe, we went there specifically because of the plants, the water, the food that would grow there without any source that we found. But it sometimes held dangers. My mother used to tell me that I have a special connection to nature because I was conceived in one of the gardens of this temple.
You don't say.
I do not know if it is true, but I like to think that it is where my connection to the desert and nature comes from. Yes. Shall we go on?
I think I'm ready with the cloak now. Yeah,
Good.
it looks good.
All right. And
Impressive.
as your preparations are done, you begin your trek through the desert sands. So with that, I would like a survival check from you, Granish. And what kind of other? Oh wait, Bork, you want to make sure that your senses were sharp, so you go ahead and make a perception check while you're searching for all kinds of different sights and smells. Kalo, any tactics that you would like to do during your travels?
I just want to be sure that we're still. I think survival, basically just trying to know where we are on the map that we have, on the keep track of the direction we're going.
Sure.
With the sun and such.
Very well. So Granish takes the lead, but you also want to make sure that y'all be traveling in the right directions.
You can assist me if you want, or try.
Yeah, it's not gonna help much, but I don't have many skills for this occasion.
Oh, that's fair.
Fair enough. All right. So first off,
I
then,
rolled a 19.
Ooh, 19 total.
Yeah. Roll 20 is being very kind to me, and I'm scared.
Highs before the lows.
All right,
I
then
rolled a 3, so that's not gonna help much.
3. Oof, that's actually a -1 to Granish. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Well,
So
in that case, since I haven't rolled yet, I'm gonna use assurance. So Granish will ignore, like he gets Kalo's intentions, but he's good at, he's good at just nodding and being and then just continuing. Assurance allows me to ignore any situational bonuses or penalties. So I just take 10 plus my modifier, which is 17.
all right.
Granish just going fucking tourist.
And as you have not only knowledge of this place, Granish, but also the knowledge of the map that you have at your side, it seems that the first couple of hours that you begin to travel down these mountainsides and into the desert sands are pretty fortuitous. While all of this is happening, you also keep your nose open. And Charlie, can you roll me a d20 in chat?
D20 on
Okay.
its way, baby.
See what kind of randomness I have in store for you.
There it
Not a
goes.
4. Not a 4. A 4 is never good.
Jumping across the screen, it's a 6.
A 6.
A 6 on your face.
All right then.
Ish.
In that case, I can finally use my nice desert dice. Nice. And that is going to be... Alright. Bork. While you guys are out and about, you begin to take a good long look around yourselves to see what might be happening here. And eventually, you have to blink twice as you would swear that you saw like a shadow just scour over the sands. At which moment you also begin to smell something animalistic. And with that, you peer upward, where you see far in the distance, like circling your location, it seems, 3 different winged creatures slowly moving in on this party of 3 that is now out and open into the desert dunes. Still
I'm gonna
far
take my
away.
crossbow off my back. Let out a little whistle. Eyes up.
I draw my longbow. And I want to make a desert lore check, see if I recognize whatever this might be.
As all 3 of you are gazing into the sky, they're still quite far off because your perception check was pretty good and their stealth was pretty shitty. But now that you are peering into the distance, you can either make a desert lore check or a nature check, all 3 of you, to see if you can like ascertain what these creatures are.
Meh.
18.
You know what?
14.
18? 14?
18.
I am just gonna roll for fun because I have a -1 on all intelligence and wisdom-based checks.
Wait.
14. That's not bad.
14.
That's
All
a
right.
that's a bird. That's some kind of bird. I'm telling you.
Well, you're partially correct.
Got
It
wings.
seems, Bork, that you do indeed see wings. It's also a little bit difficult because like they're in the way of the sunlight, so it's hard to make out. And for you, Nourish, it's Grainish, it's even more difficult because you have so much different kind of winged creatures that these could be that you are not really sure what they are. But then, Kalo, a word leaves your lips, namely that these are hippogriffs that probably were
fuck.
nestled within the mountainside and now saw the rest of you enter the desert sands.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop prone.
What do you guys want to do?
Granish looks at.
So he doesn't tell us that it's hippogriffs. He just like face plants into the sand.
The voucher said that I said this.
Yeah, hippogriffs.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
drop prone and basically try to be one with the sand.
Granish looks at Kalo like. I just love this reaction. It's like,
Face plant.
it's like the.
I think Bork is like sharing you in that look. Like, did he just die?
Kalo, are you okay?
Yeah, I don't want to attract attention from hippogriffs. Stand ready. I'm ready too. Go ahead. I skitter away.
Yes.
You're prone. Do you use your fingertips and your toesies to skitter away like a cartoon
Just like a
character?
worm.
Yeah, what do you do the worm?
It's literally called skitter, where I can use half my movement speed to move away when I'm prone.
Well,
What did you say your movement speed was again?
40.
So you're moving at 20 feet speed on the ground.
you're almost as fast on the ground as normal people are, just like moving around.
Yeah, that's what's so
shit.
fun about it.
Kalo the artist enters the desert, paints himself to be a desert-colored worm, and just scrunches away. I love it. Alright, but right now, as you are seeing this, in the distance, you do hear eventually as the hippogriffs are coming a little bit closer by, circling in onto their prey. What do you guys want to do? Do you wish to hide, just as Kalo, or do you wish to engage?
I
Do
want to
you wish
make a
scare them off?
nature check and see if I feel like they're going to be predatory or if there's a way to reason with them that I know of, or distract them, or scare them off, ideally.
With your nature check, you would know that these creatures do seem to be predatory right now. Oh, sorry, your desert lore. You would know that these creatures are predatory, so they are not going here to make friendly with all y'all. However, they are still animals, so all those kinds of tactics that you run through your head, if done right enough and well enough, you should be able to scare them off, or intimidate them, or if it need be, kill them.
All right. Quick, a way to make a large fire. Kalo, and he's yeah. Who's already like?
We're in the middle. We're in the middle of a fucking desert. Where do you want to get to wood to make a huge fire? How did you picture this in your brain?
He does magic.
I have a never need pack, so does wood count as gear that you can use to make fire?
I mean, sure, you have brought kindling with you to make like a fire here within the desert if need be.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm looking for. I mean something like an illusion or something big. But
I only have prestidigitation that might be able to do the trick, but that's
very
about
well.
it.
Then I suppose we face our predators.
If I shoot like a warning arrow, would they understand that I'm not trying to engage? I'm just trying to get them to fuck off?
They're animals,
or is that an invitation for them to come? I don't know. You live here.
We might scare them off. Hold on. And Greenwich tears off like a piece of cloth from one of his many layers of shirt, wraps it quickly around an arrow.
While he's doing this, I'm firing a warning arrow. This is taking too fucking long.
I'm doing it around a crossbow bolt. And
it's still taking too fucking long, man.
All right. So while Greenwich is preparing a special bolt, you already had your crossbow out, and you want to just fire a warning shot.
Fire a warning shot. Just near them, not trying to hit them.
All right. As you carefully take aim, go ahead and do make me a attack roll real quick, just to see how well placed it is.
That is a 21.
21.
I am getting increasingly frightened with how well roll 20 is rolling for me. I'm scared. Bork's gonna die this session.
You take aim, and eventually the bolt goes flying. You see the one that's in front do seem to like flutter a little bit, at least like startled by your bolt, but with that, still coming your way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Forbidding Ward on Bork.
Forbidding Ward, alright.
Okay, the close, I'm gonna basically give Bork a +1 bonus to armor class and saving throws against the nearest hippogriff.
Oh.
But just one.
Alright, okay. Very nice.
That's cool. How long does it last for?
Up to 1 minute if I sustain it.
Alright, so with that, this small sand-colored worm comes towards you and you get slapped by a forbidden ward.
I need a flask of your drink.
Why?
I hold up the bolt with the cloth wrapped around it. Just a bit.
I take the bolt and I put it on my flask and I do like a little...
Yeah.
There's like 2 drops that come out. This is carefully rationed, okay?
So I put it on your crossbow for you as you hold it up and produce flame as it lights on fire. And then I use guidance on you. I infuse you with some energy. You get a +1 on your attack roll from me.
All right.
Go.
Am I trying to hit him? Or am I trying to scare them?
Think of it like a sand shark. Hit it on the nose. With fire.
That's a cold shot, though. That's gonna be difficult.
Well,
All right.
feathers burn.
All right, go ahead and make another attack roll for me.
Scare them off. Make it not worth it.
With a +1 from
Guidance. Guidance.
Yeah.
and Gainish. Sorry, Garish.
Oh, Greenish and guidance. Yes.
Okay.
Greenish's guidance.
Kayla also gave me a +1, or was that to
on your
AC?
AC only on your AC.
Right. All right. That's a 22.
22.
Nice.
All right. With that, as you go to fire the bolt, a small little droplet of sweat is quickly wiped from your brow so your eyes can stay good and healthy and open. And as you fire the bolt against the first hippogriff, as the bolt peers close to him, he slaps it out of the air. But in so doing, the produced flame on top of the bolt is exploded, if you will, into like a shower of all different kinds of scintillas and embers as it is knocked from the air. And with that, the small amount of fire that was there is very much increased for a moment. And with that, it seems that these hippogriffs do not find it beneficial for them to go after these prey, as you see that all three of them are startled for a moment and flutter off back towards the mountainous ridges from whence they came.
Yes. Good shot. Well done.
All right. I'll admit that was it. That was a good plan.
I'm confused about how much alcohol did you put on there?
Not a lot. Like literally 2 drops. Have you ever tried to swat out a flame? Cause that shit scatters.
Must be it then. I've not. Let's continue.
Wait, you never played with fire when you were a kid? Are you rich or something?
I used to live in the desert. Things that burn were precious.
Doesn't it get cold at night in the desert? That's what I heard. So you never made a fire in the desert at night to keep yourselves warm?
Of course.
And you never
But-
played with it?
No, it's
You're
sacred.
weird, man.
The fire
For the desert folks who are serious people. I guess it started in childhood.
Yes.
Okay.
To
Yeah,
play,
well, everyone's got their flaws, I suppose.
we would fight with sticks.
Congratulations.
Yeah. What? Okay, let us continue.
But 2 people who cannot communicate together very well.
Again.
Begin to bleeding through into all of their characters. Like, I don't know why, but I hate you.
As soon as combat starts, Vincent, I'm sorry, but you've got a barbarian and a fighter. Moreover, you've got a barbarian with an inferiority complex because of his size. He is definitely going to try to outdo Garish, okay? Which is what he's going to be calling Charlie's character.
It's gonna go from Garish to Gary to Gargar.
Yeah, neither Borg nor me can remember this.
As you
fucking
get
name.
increasingly drunk, both you
Eventually.
and Borg. Yeah.
Oh no! Bort's not getting drunk. Getting drunk in his desert is very dangerous. He
Fair.
just wants to get that nice buzz, so he doesn't really care that he's in a desert.
Yeah. I can empathize. That's fair.
And eventually, while you're raging, it's just gonna be going grrr,
Grr.
or you growl, and that means that he is a character. Anyhow, you continue your travels throughout the desert. Now that these hippogriffs have been thwarted, it seems that the rest of your day's travel goes by pretty fortuitous. And as you travel, you eventually take a look back, and the winds that blow up the sand seems to start to obscure the actual mountain range now far to your rear. But what you also realize is that here and there you actually begin to find some vegetation here within the desert. Some cacti, some places where actually a group of what seems to be like very gnarly brown weeds still cling to life here within the desert sands, more than you would actually normally think that would be alive in places like this. Eventually, however, it becomes time to set up your camp and make for nightfall. As you do so here in this climate, after this first day travel, go ahead and each one of you make me a fortitude saving throw to see how well the desert treated you. This is not going to be very difficult, DC, but nonetheless, things can go
I'm
wrong.
so good at fort,
Right.
fort saves.
Fort
Be
save.
fine.
17.
17.
The 23.
23.
27.
27.
I
All
got a
right.
plus 10 on my fort save, bitches.
Fort
Very nice.
strong.
You have rationed your water supply very well, and at the end of this day, as you begin to set up camp, none of you are bothered by, well, you are bothered by the heat, but not to a decrement that you would actually get fatigued or would have problems with your travels through the desert. But as you find like one place where a rocky protrusion jettons outward from the desert sands, you find like a nice little nook and cranny over there to set up your tent away from winds and the like. But as you do so, Rexa Liquid, thank you for the ghost image. You begin to realize it's pretty difficult that you have missed it for so long, but right like behind the dune that you are right now, you see a couple of lush green palm trees in the last rays of the daylight that is still provided to you. You are very close by to what seems to be an oasis.
I
Okay.
don't remember this, but perhaps we should go just a little bit further before setting up camp.
Do oases tend to spring up on deserts often?
No, but well, near these ruins, yes, sometimes. But otherwise, no. We are getting closer by the day, by the hour, so perhaps it is related, perhaps it is something else. And I grab my longbow. Shall we
Is it
take a little
smart
look?
To set up camp near an oasis? Doesn't that attract like animals and stuff?
It does, but fire keeps them away well enough, as we have already demonstrated.
Sure.
I assume we're all going to be taking watches, no?
Well, I have a very particular spell that helps with that. That's called alarm. We should be fine.
Alright, if you want to
I like it.
do your magic-y thing.
Very well.
I do my magic thing.
Let's take a look and decide where we set up camp after. Agreed?
All right.
Bork?
Yeah?
Good. So yeah, we
Alright.
can take a look over at the oasis.
And as you just cross this one extra sand dune, it seems that like the rocky ridge that you were about to set up your camp against pushes on through, and there you see that on the other side of the sand dune, the rocky protrusion continues, and like in that one nook right over there, you see a small pool of water with verdant green ferns strewn about it and a couple of palm trees to sprout out. You can already see that like a little bit of watery mist is rising up from this oasis, and it is beautiful. Looks good, refreshing. All three of you go ahead and make me a let's call it a will save.
Oh shit.
Can I also just instead detect magic for free, because that's what I can do?
Well, not right now. If you, because detect magic is something that you would actively do.
Yeah.
I want to see
13.
what happens first. 13?
I think a 14, but let me check.
14?
Yeah, 14.
$25. I'm
25.
scared. I'm a real scared.
Borg, as you walk up, you see your two companions already walking forward towards the oasis. but you can see that the entirety has a little bit of a weird shimmer to it.
Wait, hold up, guys. Can I smell plants and water?
You cannot.
This shit ain't real.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it! And I knock an arrow and shoot it at the oasis.
You see the whole oasis begin to ripple a little bit, and then your arrow ricochets off of the stone side. But with that, as the whole mirage of this place goes back into nothingness, it almost seems to be pulled into the sand as you hear a little bit of maniacal laughter coming from nowhere. And with that, as the illusion is pulled into the sand itself also shifts and pulls into that space for a moment. All three of you can go ahead and make me a reflex save real quick. You guys weren't getting too close, so this shouldn't be too difficult, but...
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20?
Natural 20.
Natural 20?
For a 30.
Nice. And Bork?
14.
How much?
14.
14.
Roll the 7 plus 7.
All right. You guys were far enough away to realize that it wasn't so smart to get all the way close to it. So as all of this sand is pulled into it, Bork, you actually do have to scramble a little bit. Like your feet have to kick, you fall to the ground on your side, and you have to crawl back a little bit. But your two companions steady themselves, pick you up, and make sure that as all of this sand is sifted into what seems to be like a small sort of sinkhole that was created by whatever, it eventually settles down, and all of you are safe.
Once it settles down, I want to go to that center point and start digging.
Is that
Alright.
what we call quicksand and a mirage at the same time?
Go ahead and make me another reflex save, Bork.
I don't think...
Well,
Looking for magic stuff, right? That's the whole point we're here. A fucking mirage just disappeared into the sand. The sand disappeared into the sand. If there's something under here, it's gonna be worth money.
You're gonna dig up like a little fairy, right?
26.
Just pull it out from the ground. The fairy's gonna like, no! You're gonna be like, I found you.
26. All right, so as soon as you were almost sucked into a sinkhole, Bork decides, okay, this is done, and begins to walk forward, at which moment the maniacal laughter reappears and goes, as Bork, you are almost pulled into the sand, but this time you just allow it a little bit to happen, and the rest of you begin to, wait, what? And eventually, poof, Bork, you emerge from the sand, and in your hand, you have what seems to be like this small crystalline formation of like white and see-through with a little bit of silver metallic within it. And as you hold it, you also still hear like a little bit of noise coming from it, and the crystal is actually shaking.
Yeah, not so tough now, are you? What do I do with
Kinda
this?
called it?
I 100% called this. I mean,
What is that?
stop
We're gonna
fighting,
end it.
okay? You lost.
And as you are holding it outside of the sand, it slows down a little bit. The whispers that it creates become less and less until it eventually is just silent, and you're holding a very nice little piece of crystal.
if I had time to detect magic to try and see if there's a link I could see through the crystal.
A link that you could see through the crystal?
It seems like this is some kind of communication device or trap, and see if there's a magical link I can see from who's controlling it.
You cast detect magic?
Yeah, basically, I'm a seer elf, so I can do it all the time.
Oh, nice. All right, so you do realize that this is magic, but you don't get the idea that this is a magical device or some sort. Go ahead and make an Arcana check for me real quick.
Okay. There is an Arcana is. I have a 5 at least. I think maybe a 6. So I'm gonna check. Yeah, 19.
19. You have heard of there being a vast amount of different sort of elemental entities.
Oh.
This one seemed to be some sort of magical being that was like instilled within the sand, also capable of doing some sort of illusion-based magics, but mostly just like earth elemental in nature, it seems. Still, though,
Okay.
these sorts of crystals do catch a pretty penny.
Okay, well, that works. No, good job, Bork.
And you think to yourself that as you have pulled this out of the sand, it seems to be way less powerful than it was, so it seems to thrive when it is in the sand. Who knows? If you eventually just throw it at someone into the sand, where you do not want someone else to be,
Yeah,
nice little chaos would ensue right over there.
might work. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna focus up and set up. If people want to set up camp, I'm gonna put the alarm spell on. So
Perfect.
I think it's called.
Ave, are you still with us?
Clearly not. So yeah, we're gonna set up camp, and we're going to be using the alarm spell, and I think that's it.
Very well. Then, for the sake of...
We were discussing food, but I did hear Kalo say, "Good job, Bork," and
Yeah.
he's trying to hide it, but he does wag his tail a little bit.
Very good. All right. Then with that, we can say that now that you have cleared and made sure that your whole camp area is safe and secure, all of you can go ahead and take your watches and make sure that you are well rested for the second day of travel.
No watch.
Technically,
No
When-
watch?
when-
Oh, wait, alarm spell.
I got alarm spell. So it lasts an hour. So basically, we have an 8 hours where we basically are safe enough.
Very well. And during this time, all of you can have a well-earned and needed long rest within your encampment.
Yeah.
As the second day approaches you, you realize that it seems that your travels will take you further through the basic terrain of what you have just set up your camp in. Rocky terrain with sand dunes that seem to be more overgrown than normal. Is there anything else that you would like to do right now as your travel plans, or are we going to continue on the same foot that we did the day before?
Yeah. So Greenish is going to spend some time in the morning praying, eating some various strange herbs, and doing some rituals. And after that, he's ready to go, ready to keep going, as far as I'm concerned.
Very well. All right.
We're just gonna do some morning calisthenics, stretching, doing a little bit of cardio, jumping jacks, burpees, that kind of stuff.
Very good.
Not too many though. It's fucking hot out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with the DM meant how we're gonna travel, but when we're traveling, I'm just gonna this board can smell real good. I'm gonna focus on the sands if I see sand shifting suspiciously or something.
Very well.
I
In that-
would have probably wrapped that crystal thing in some spare cloth and put it in my backpack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. While you were discussing dinner, we realized that the crystal seemed to be of some sort of earth elemental nature. And now that you had removed it from the sand, it did no longer have like basically a host of sand that it could manipulate around itself. So right now you feel that it is pretty dormant. But if you wanted to throw it back into the sands, that could certainly be done.
Will it get us money?
It should be able to get you money, yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah!
All right.
Case in point.
In that case, it did seem to have like intelligence and a will of its own.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was fucking with us.
Okay.
All right. Then, as we enter the second day of travel, I would once again like to have our desert dweller friend Greenish to go ahead and make a survival check or Lord Desert check. And the other two of you can go ahead and make perception checks for me.
13.
13.
18.
18? All right.
On
Then-
Lore Desert, sorry.
23.
23. Nothing too shabby.
Ancient.
All right. Then, as you continue your travels, Grainish, you're pretty sure that you are en route, even though that these lands seem to quite literally shift below your feet, and the different kinds of flora and fauna that you have found seem to be a little bit more vagrant and different than what you would expect it right here. As you do so, no real problems seem to arise during your trekking, but I will ask you to go ahead and roll me another d20.
Let's see what
D20
happens.
coming up. That would be a 14.
14.
Can I roll it from here?
Ooh.
No, I can't.
All right. Then, as you make your way through the desert, eventually your vision becomes a little bit less and less and less, as you realize that the winds are sweeping up and you will slowly but surely find yourself in a sandstorm. Grainish, you can already feel this brewing and coming up soon. Is there anything that you guys would like to do to prepare for when it hits?
We need to prepare. Find shelter, create it. Time is of the essence.
Okay.
Anyone
You do
see a
you.
cave, a place somewhere nearby?
Are you trying to wish a cave into existence?
No, I'm asking if anyone noticed something of the like.
No.
We've passed
Orc?
rock outcroppings.
With a 23 on your perception, you would have seen that a little bit to the, this would be like northeast, what you had just passed, were at least some rocky protrusions, and you saw more plant life right over there that might indicate that you have some subterranean ground over there with some foliage within it. That might be a good place to start looking.
I'm gonna point over my shoulder and go, I saw possibly a cave back there. Some
Perfect.
stuff.
Oh, well.
Otherwise, the foliage might also be a good indicator.
And Grainish starts walking.
The thing is, we can't properly take cover on the sand dunes because we need to anchor like a bit of cloth or a sheet over us in order to hold us safe from the sandstorm. But that won't work on as actual dunes. But if we use dirt that has plants growing in them, that's stuck, that's strong, so we can place anchors in there.
We
And-
go inside a cave and wait it out.
Well, if there's not a cave, then we have a plan B.
B. Okay.
Yeah.
But preferably a
Oscar
cave.
has
All
And,
right.
I think, basically, Kalo is just gonna use this 40 feet speed to just get there fast, see if they can find anything.
All right. In that case, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Trying to keep up
That's
with
a
my little
16.
leg.
A 16. All right. As Kalo begins to run forward towards this cave entrance, you indeed see that one of the sand dunes turns down into a pretty much straight rocky downpour. And there you can see on the bottom of it some plant life being created, like almost covering up what seems to be an entrance into the ground itself. And as you begin to run over there, all right, as you go over there and your companions begin to follow you, now it seems the sandstorm is actually really picking up speed. I need all of you to go ahead and make a fortitude saving throw for me real quick.
17.
17, oof.
25.
25.
13.
Success. All right, both of you fail, except for the one denizen that is native to these lands, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So, both of you, as the sandstorm really begins to pick up speed, you take 1 point of slashing damage just before you can actually get to this cave entrance and make your way inside. while you were outside in the
1 point?
sandstorm, 1 point. 1 point of slashing damage. Yeah.
Okay.
Before you got into there, you did realize that it's pretty intense. As you enter this cave network, you see that the foliage outside is quickly ripped to shreds by the fast sandy winds. And as all of you enter this cave, is there anything else that you would like to do to prepare, or are you just going to wait it out for now?
I mean, it's gonna be dark, so I guess I'll light a torch. 2 torches, even. I'll leave one near the entrance, far away enough as to not be blown out by the sandstorm, so quite a bit, probably.
Mhm.
And one I'll just hold in my left hand.
Very well.
Yeah.
Does Kiddo have a reason to suspect that the sandstorm is unnatural? Since it's apparently blowing vegetation that already has grown here.
Yeah, no, that's sandstorms, bro.
Yeah, but also as you are an elf that can detect magic innately, you do realize that there is something magical about this sandstorm.
Okay.
This
Some
is
magic
not-
is causing this.
Seems to be, yeah.
Ah, all right.
Bad
As all of
news.
you are in this cave, all 3 of you can also make me a perception check real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
12.
gonna keep my nose out for a water source.
I'm doing well. Another 25. Different number.
Another
And this is where the low rolls hit. 10.
10. And Kalo?
I got scared in my dome.
12.
12? Alright. Bork, Kalo, you look inside the cave and realize quickly that this is just a small alcove that you had found. You take a look, basically, like the cave goes further into the earth, but it is completely filled up with sand. So basically, like from the entrance to like the backside of there's like a space of 20 feet going to the back of it, and then the rocky side actually just enters the ground. Bork, you take a couple of steps there and begin to dig to see if you can find anything of moist earth or something like that, but you cannot really find anything. You, Greenish, with your lit torch, you just peer into the sands outside as the winds blow and blow. And then you see a figure walking through all of this. A little bit hunched over, 2 legs, humanoid, with cloak over its head, hobbling forward a little bit. And I say humanoid, not human, because with your 25 perception, you can see that this creature is not walking on feet, but on cloven hooves, as it huddles closer and closer. Eventually, you can also see that this creature, hood still over his head, like tethered drapes being flown away, only has 3 fingers on each hand.
We've got something here. Someone.
I draw my axe, my oversized dwarven axe, from my sheath at my hip. Whoosh.
Who are you? Are you
Draws
the
his
storm?
battle axe and looks from his battle axe to the dwarven axe and back to his own axe and feels slightly inadequate.
And with that, this, as all of you are standing at the ready, this creature takes a couple of more steps and eventually exits the sandstorm and enters your cave at first. And there you can hear, like, muttering from underneath his cloak, just go, "I am but a traveler, like you. Perhaps I can be of aid. If you can aid me." And that's where we'll take a little break.
Yeah, can like, is it okay if I say one more in character thing, Wouter?
Oh, of course.
I look over to Bork and Kalo. Nothing with a voice like that is ever good.
All right.
What are you talking about? Tarush has a voice like that.
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh!
Busted.
All right. So we will take a short little break of 15 minutes, and then we will continue the chaos of this session. So
Sweet.
be sure, a lot of things with llama points have been reduced in price. So if you wish to participate, please do so. We only have 3 players on our table today, so a couple of other players in chat would be greatly beneficial for our story.
Make us suffer.
Yeah.
See you in
If this
15.
shit doesn't end in a TPK, the chat has failed.
We shall see. We shall see what happens. See you guys soon.
Bye.
You know, I was about to, like, just walk off without realizing that I need to put the screen on break. Bye, everyone. Go.
And
Wow.
we're back.
That was so smooth.
To jump back into the game. Last we left off, our 3 heroes have entered the Tsunade Desert in search of the well-acclaimed Alcahadera ruins. Ruins that had been built on, well, not as ruins, you don't build ruins. A settlement of desert dwellers that had been built on a place where the veil between this world and the first world, also known as the Feywild, is very thin. And a place where right now it seems the magics of this chaotic place known as the First World are bleeding into this realm, allowing for a lot of beautiful, magical, energetic, different things to sprawl up. Things that are interesting to research or can catch a pretty penny on the right markets. For this reason, you are traveling towards these ruins to find whatever you can. You've already found that perhaps due to these magics, a earth elemental creature had been found by Bork and had been already looted. But next to that, you have also seen that different illusions and the like are beginning to sproul up here and there. So, once again, viewers, hit your boys up with those llama points and do things in the story, because all of the point things are a lot cheaper this time around.
I do have to say, I'm a bit sus about the mistake you made earlier, because it does sound like Fae to build ruins, right?
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
And be like, hey, we built some ruins, and then you go there, and then the Fae are like, built
Psych.
last year, motherfucker.
Yeah. Psych, bitch, you thought. All right.
Like you're ours now.
But on your travels towards the Alcahadera ruins, you have already found that vegetation is sprawling up throughout the desert, and the sands themselves seem to sparkle with some sort of inherent magic. But during your travels, a sandstorm began to rage. A sandstorm that you, Kalo, had realized has some sort of magical origin. And then, from this sandstorm, doomed a lingering humanoid figure with cloven hooves and 3-fingered hands, with a veil over their head obscuring their entirety of their face. And as this strange figure hobbled into your abode, he began to speak of being a traveler, and with you being travelers yourself, perhaps we can aid each other.
I don't trust anything with a voice like that.
I will love you,
voiceless.
sexy.
Well, you do not have to trust everything that you hear, but perhaps we can come to an arrangement.
What's he
You-
smell like?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Seventeen.
How much?
17.
17. He smells a little bit. How would you say this? Like dried out meat being left in the sun for very long. So he doesn't really have a strong
It smells
scent.
like jerky.
He smells like a little bit like jerky.
I'm gonna keep on detecting magic to see if he's undead or something.
Well, what do you learn with your detect magic?
That's a good question. I think just if there's something magical going on, and maybe the school possibly.
I think you only learn that on higher levels.
That is possible. I'm gonna double check. Oh yeah. What? Why aren't you working? Okay, I'm looking it up. Basically, it's just detect magic spells. I'm not sure if Charlie, who has played Tarouche, knows it as well.
Just
I
look it
do.
up on.
You send out a pulse that registers the presence of magic. You receive no information beyond the presence or absence of it.
Okay.
You detect illusion magic only if it's a lower level than your level of the detect magic spell, which for you is level 2 right now.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, you do not detect any like magic on this person per se as of this time. But other than that, he does continue to speak as he says, "So, what exactly has brought you here to the sands? Hmm?
It's
Perhaps
none
you
of
are.
your business.
Perhaps we can make it my business, and you can become mine. Are you searching to find whatever beauties are strewn about? Do you wish to take them with you?"
Well, if we're looking for beauties, then I'm not sure if we're gonna find it here with you.
Are you a salesman of some sort? You
Yeah.
sound like a trader.
No, I am not beautiful in the very least. No, I am not. But what are your charisma scores?
10.
10,
18.
18,
16.
16.
I'm adorable.
But then again, the two of you are. No, there have been many beauties sprawling up in this desert. If you wish to take them away from here, then that is very, very good indeed. Perhaps I can aid you with that, but you carry such beauty with yourself. That is a problem.
A problem?
Beauty is not bound for these sands. Beauty, I would like to have it removed. Yes. Are you looking for beauties here in the sand? Yes.
We already found one such beauty. An earth elemental. Little gemstone. Do you know anything?
No, exactly not about this, no. But that is of no matter. If you took it away, then that is good. But you have also brought beauty here. And that is a problem, yes.
We will. Well, not I, but the two of them will definitely be departing once we have fulfilled our objectives here. Are
That's
you. Are you Jinn? Are you demon? What are you? Identify. For we trust not what we do not know.
But for now, you have taken beauty here. This cannot stand. No, this cannot. He begins to become a little bit fidgy. And he says this, what I am is less important as what I can offer. If you offer to me, you have brought beauty here. This cannot stand. Perhaps we can trade. Yes, trade. To bring back the beauty of the empty, ugly sands, yes. You have brought beauty here. If you trade, yes, trade, that is a good. Trade your beauty, then I can give you information and power over these sands.
I want to make a lore desert check, see if my people maybe knew anything about this person, if he's a legendary figure of some sort.
Lord Desert? Sure.
If he's native to the desert, at least. That's a 16.
A 16. not really sure. Up until now, he also still has like the veil covering his entire head, so you haven't even seen his face yet. But like with these characteristics, you do see that like the robes that he's wearing and the leathers do seem to be of the local region, although they are very much tethered and beaten by the sandstorm outside and
So they might
life.
even look eerily similar to my clothing, you mean?
If they would, then way less
Much more bland
maintained.
and-
Yeah,
yeah.
much more bland, way less maintained, not really functional anymore. So can we trade? Yes, your beauty for information.
Have I heard of any religion or any other religion or cult that is against beauty or something? Trying to track
Go-
down what he wants.
Go ahead and make a religion check for me.
Ooh, that's an 8.
An 8. No, not really. I'm sorry, with an 8, nothing springs to mind.
It is up to you, for it speaks not of myself, Mark, and Kalo. I must admit that having the protection of a spirit of the desert, however malign it may seem, could be beneficial.
Yes, indeed. So
You mean malignant?
Yes.
Yeah.
desert accent, desert dialect.
Well, I don't trust this creepy fuck. 'Cause he hasn't shown us his face and he's asking us to trade up beauty, which is a very, very creepy thing to say. And my mom always taught me never to get in bed, figuratively or literally, with creepy fucks who ask about beauty. So I say we found this cave first. Back to the sands, buddy.
That was beautiful.
No, this cannot stand.
We will take beauty, and we will bring it elsewhere. But you cannot take theirs, it seems, unless Kalo wants to offer his.
I'm pretty happy with how I looked, thank you.
No, this cannot be. No.
Perhaps something else
I'm
of
gonna-
beauty can
I'm
be
gonna
offered.
use the top of my battle axe to start pushing him out of the entrance way.
Shoot!
No, you must. You have brought too much beauty here. It must be removed.
All right, Grandpa, enough of your weird babbling. Bye-bye.
I'm
Right, so
gonna
he's beginning to get very twitchy.
go ahead and cast forbidding word on myself, so I can get a bonus to any eventual spells he wants to cast against me.
All right. If that is the case, then as you begin to cast a spell and the
Yeah.
battle axe is beginning to pushing him out, then he just says, "Very well. If you shall not give, then I will take." And with that, he lifts his head up. At which point, you can realize that his head is nothing but a row of teeth with inside it one gigantic eyeball. His entire head is just one eye of purple and dark blue that is kept within this row of teeth. And as he gazes upward, you feel like this sense of dread. And I need, let's see here. You need to roll initiative, but, you know what? For the sake of this, Bork, because you are pushing with your battle axe, go ahead and make an attack roll as part of your initiative.
Alright.
Well, shoving is athletics.
Oh, athletics.
That's
Halo?
even better.
Yeah, I
Halo?
figured.
You go ahead and make me a spell attack roll to see how fast you can spell cast, because that will be your initiative. And then for our Garish,
Perception?
Yeah, just a perception.
Yeah, makes sense.
Good thing we're in the desert because I am hot, bitches. 28.
28. Very nice.
16.
16. All right.
16 as well.
16 as well. All right. What are your dexterity scores?
+3.
+3.
+3. Well,
+3.
the
All right.
modifier I'm rolling with is a 9.
9. All right.
But I mean, we're
as well.
teammates. We can swap
Also
as
good.
we want,
Yeah.
right?
You just go ahead. Because it seems that that he is last with a. Oh no, wait. He has a +12, so that's a 16 on his perception. All right. So with that, Bork, as you see this large eye beginning to peer upward, doesn't seem all that friendly. What do you do?
Well, first, I would like to rage.
Very well.
I'm gonna
You
give
start to
myself
get really
15
angry.
temporary hit points. Yeah, this ugly motherfucker's coming in here trying to ask me for my beauty? Hell no. And then for my second action, I'm gonna fucking pop a cap in his ass. It's a 21 to hit.
21. 21 does hit. So you turn into a rage, and then the battle axe that had begun to shove now shows the sharp edge towards this being.
Well, I just pull it back slightly and then slash.
Very well.
For 6 damage. Didn't roll that well, but I get an extra 2 for my rage on any melee attacks.
Very nice. All right, so with that, you take up your battle axe and you begin to slash, hitting him square on the shoulder, and no, not all too happy by what is going on. That was your turn, or?
Well, I should have one action left. Can I use my intimidation to try and demoralize him?
You can indeed.
Awesome.
That is against his will save, or his will DC, I think.
So I am just looking up demoralize now.
Yeah, it's against his will DC.
Yeah, it's against the DC, yeah.
All right.
$15.
15 does not make it, it seems. This very strange creature is looking at Kalo with his gigantic eye that encompasses the entirety of his face. Just the tethered robes and the row of teeth that are like gnawing away at his eye a little bit is very offsetting, and for now it seems that he's too strange to be intimidated by you right now.
I'm still just gonna yell in his face, "Get the fuck out of here, you freaky fuck!"
At which moment the creature turns its gaze towards you, Kalo, because given the choice, it will always target the creature with the highest charisma score, and he is going to look at you and is going to use his cursed gaze. And with that, I need you to go ahead and make me a will save.
Best save. There's there's a 28.
28, nice. All right, that is a success. But even so, you still take 7 points of mental damage, and you are frightened 1 as the creature is looking into you, and you feel shivers running down your spine as it just goes. The beauty, I will take it from all. And for now, he is going to just he wants to get to Kalo, but you are in his way right now, Bork. So he is going to use his last action to go ahead and make an attack roll against you with one of his claws for a total of 30 to hit.
That hits.
Is that a critical hit?
It is. Yeah, I haven't
It is.
received 17. Actually,
All right.
16 because I take a -1 penalty when raging.
All right, in that case, that one claw almost extends a little bit, and you can see that the large nails were sort of like a cat pulled back into the hands, but now unfurled. The one claw hits you square across the face. He's actually trying to make you more ugly with his attacks. You take a total of...
Keep trying, bitch. I'm adorable.
Oh, plus 10 is 22 for the critical hit. 22 points of slashing and evil damage.
That's fine. That takes care of my temporary hit points. 22 minus 15 is 7.
That is correct.
Yeah. All right, I'm still good. I'm still up.
All right. And that's all that he can do. So right now, this creature is trying to slash away at Bork, getting towards you, Kalo, as you are the most beautiful one in this group. But then the two of you, both Kalo and Garish, are gonna go ahead and have their turns. Who wants to go first?
Grainish.
Grainish, sorry.
It's okay. Ape is rubbing off on you.
Go ahead, Charlie. You take the first turn.
Well, you want to maybe debuff, or do you want to take time to read spells? You mean?
No, I'm not gonna debuff him. I'm just gonna wait till you strike him to then do a better attack thing. Then I guess.
Okay, cool. I'm not in a way for your ranged attacks then. Like we don't know each other's characters.
I'm gonna do melee attack. So.
Oh,
do your
okay.
thing.
In that case, Grainish drops the torch. Dramatically. I knocked away my box of
Dice.
It's gonna suck cleaning that up. And he said, Bork said you need to get out. And with a second hand now gripping the dwarven axe, which is this large, almost golden looking, but not quite metallic, massive axe that he certainly didn't make himself or is from his culture, but it's beautiful. He does a sudden charge. So he starts running as quickly as he can. I get to make 2 stride actions as part of my attack, and attack at the end of it. So I run up to it, and I make a strike.
Very well.
And can we say that he's flanking, or?
No, I don't think so, because I'm like coming from the same direction, and I need to like move straight up.
Fair.
Yeah.
So that is pretty nice. A natural 11 plus a 12 on my attack roll, guys. A 12, so that's 23.
That most certainly hits.
Nice. So my axe, it glows magically as I strike with it. It leaves this trail of colors because it has a potency and a striking ruin.
Nice.
So that does 9 and 9, double 9, plus 4 damage.
9.
So that's 22 damage as I charge up and just slice into the monster with my axe.
Very nice. All right, where the Aghash needed a critical hit to do 22 points of damage, your combat prowess is normally strong enough to deal 22 points of damage. At the moment you hear, he didn't like that. You still have 1 action left, I think.
Yeah. So I use Brutish Shove, which is a press action, which means I need a multiple attack penalty. So I'm gonna attack it again. And if I hit, some additional stuff happens.
All right.
But I don't, because I rolled a natural 1. Was bound to come at some point. So it is flat-footed until the end of my current turn, even though I miss, which is now. So turn over.
Very good.
So second attack, I just like try and just shove at it, but it blocks my attack as I try and push the blade, the side of my axe blade into its massive eye.
All right, and with that we go to Kalo. Kalo, the shivers running down your spine do make you frightened, so you have a -1 to everything for this round. But the turn is yours. What do you do?
Well, since he's flat-footed, I'm gonna use my blood magic spell. Basically, it means I can use glutton's jaw, which means my mouth becomes filled with teeth, and pretty frightening. As you can, because it's even more full with teeth than it already is, with gnarly things. And I can also do an additional effect that is, if it fails, with the DC. No, it doesn't work like that. No, it doesn't work. Sorry. I'm just gonna attack him.
Okay, you do need to move up to him.
But didn't he already get towards me? I thought.
No, he wanted to, but he couldn't because Bork was in the way.
Oh, I thought he was already at my range.
He used a range spell.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just gonna cast fear on them first. See what happens.
All right. So
He needs to make a spell DC of 19.
19. Ooh, that is a critical success with 16 plus 13, so that's 29.
Like
Okay,
you're
that
fighting
sucks.
teeth with teeth here, huh? Fear
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
fear.
so he is unaffected, and I'm gonna sustain the forbidding will. So that was my turn. Didn't work.
All right. But still, though, it seems that this creature is also so strange and so scary in its own way that, like, the things that you add to yourself to become more scary might not exactly be the things that scare him, at least
Yeah.
for now. Then, at the end of your turn, we go back to Bork, who is still keeping this creature at bay as the two melee fighters are getting into the fray right now.
Hells yeah. What was the thing I was looking at? Damn, I was so focused on my food. Okay, that doesn't count here. Okay, that's fine.
The disappointment
I'm
I
gonna-
feel.
I'm gonna fucking whack him again.
Took you that long to say I attack. Love you too.
So much love. So much love.
I was looking at the deny advantage thing, but that doesn't count here because it's just the one guy. 22 to hit.
22 hits.
Okay. Ooh, nice. 10 damage.
10 points. 10 points added to the roster. As both battle axes begin to heave and hoe into this creature, like, you can now see that the whole body seems to
No,
almost...
it's just the one. I'm using the battle axe as the...
Oh, yeah, no, I
Is it
was talking
both?
about your end...
Never mind. Continue.
Cranish,
Sorry.
both battle axes. And you can now
Gary.
see that the armor is getting chipped away a little bit, but he doesn't really seem to mind all that much because his whole body already seems to be dried out and shriveled away. This being that walks the deserts seems to be very much from this place. All right.
I assume the trip counts as an attack in combat.
Yes. It also has the attack trait, so
You
it
get
is made with your penalty.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm still gonna go for it because that would use my athletics modifier, I think.
Indeed.
Okay, so
Right.
I think I'm good.
So one thing about trip though is your weapon needs to have it, or
I
you
can't
need
just
to
use my feet.
Well,
You have to...
you can, but then you would have to switch. Like, you can switch from two hands to one hand, roughly once or twice per turn. So you would need to constantly switch back and forth. So you need to make this choice in that sense.
Well, Pathfinder has made it impossible for me to attack with all three actions. So I'm trying not to do that. So I'm going to release one hand from the battle axe and try to trip the motherfucker.
All right.
Motherfucker.
So that is an athletics check against his reflex save.
Yeah, no, that's no good. That's a 10.
That's a 10. Ooh, then I'm afraid that is a critical fail.
Yeah, fuck.
So-
Do I trip myself?
Well, if you critically fail on the trip action, let me just take a look. What happens then? Trip. Jesus. Oh. PF2 easy is not really doing it. Oh, there we go. Hampered. Critical fail. You lose your balance and fall and land prone. So, you fall on your ass.
Doggy.
I think that's all my actions then. If letting go counts as an action.
Yes, because this is a nice story moment. Because as you try to trip this creature, you fall prone, and with that, it is his turn, and he can finally do what he wants to. So he's actually going to walk forward. If you have an attack of opportunity,
Just a short in between. It's a free action. You just have a limited number of uses. But
Okay.
I do have an attack of opportunity.
Well, if it's a free action, then I still have an action left, and I would like to use that to get back up.
to get back up. All right. In that case, you are also going to get an attack of opportunity from this motherfucker.
Oh,
Oh, barbarians also have that? Nice.
No.
The problem is going to make an attack of opportunity.
The monster.
Oh.
Yeah. That is going to be a 27 to hit.
Jesus Christ, that's another critical. What the hell?
Ooh. Let's see here. 9 plus 9 plus 10 is 28 points of damage as the claw
Jesus.
finds the other side of your face, raking it open.
I'm gonna need a calculator for that. Continue.
All right. I will say, though, that even though when you stand up, he's still going to try and basically tumble through your space to get to Kalo, because he wants to really target you, Kalo. He doesn't like that you were pretty. So let's see here. That is going to
What
be...
am I, chopped fucking liver?
I don't get that reference, and it's still kind of funny.
Let's see here. Try to do your speed. Alright, so against your reflex DC, he is going to try and make it through.
You're talking about me.
No, through Bork right now, because it makes sense that if Bork fell down, that would be like a nice little place where the creature thinks he has an opening. So even though that Bork gets back up, he is still going to try and tumble through the space of Bork. But I rolled a natural 20 on the die, so I do think that he does get through. While still slashing at your face, Borg, you still trying to get up a little bit. He then walks forward towards you, Kalo, and just goes...
Attack of opportunity? For me?
Attack of opportunity from your side, yes.
Alright. No multiple attack penalty, so that is going to be 9 plus 12, 21.
21 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Fuck. Yes, bitch. 2 and a 1. That's 7 damage as he moves by with this ridiculous speed as he's scratching Bork. Just this acrobatic as Granish tries to hit him and only slices a little bit, as he's mostly just confused at the otherworldly monstrosity he's seeing.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, and as the creature, the Aghast, comes towards you, Kalo, he just goes, beauty, give it here, destroy, corrupt. And with that, he tries to touch you, and with it, he casts Outcast's Curse. Go ahead and make me a will save.
Yeah. Do I have a real point, someone? No, please help. Please
No,
help.
those are for Crowan, not yours.
19.
19?
Yeah.
Ooh, DC 21. All right, so that is a failure. The target, you get cursed with the Outcast's Curse. So the beauty that you have is fading away, and you become ugly and undesirable in the eyes of your peers. The target must roll twice and use the worst result whenever they are attempting a deception, diplomacy, intimidation, or performance check. And creatures they encounter have an initial attitude towards them of one step worse. So, for instance, from friendly to unfriendly, or etc., etc. On a success, this lasts for 10 minutes. On a failure, the effect is permanent.
Okay, cool.
So you are cursed with the ugly.
Okay.
Like he walked straight out of the SpongeBob episode, and he has made you ugly. You are cursed, and you are now undesirable.
Okay, time to fuck him up.
All right, and that is all
personal.
he does. Yes, give it here. But that's his turn. At which moment, both you and your other companion, Greg, are gonna have their turn.
You want to go this time first?
Give me some flanking bonus.
Okay. So,
Right now, you would have flanking bonus because he has
Already?
walked through Bork and is now standing between basically all three of you.
yeah, we're
So
that
right
close
now-
together?
Now I'm basically mad. I'm gonna
Not
use
moving
Gutted
his
Jaw.
part.
The cave only was 20 feet deep and 10 feet wide at the widest point. This was like a small alcove.
Oh, okay.
So you guys are pretty much crowded together like this.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna use Glutton's Jaw as a spell, and then attack twice.
All right.
First
Nom nom.
attack is let's see, 24.
24 hits.
Okay, he gets 4%. He gets 5 damage, and I get 2 HP, 2 temporary hit points back. So he gets 5 damage and I get 2.
Very
and then
nice.
I attack again. Does 18 hit?
18, because you guys are flanking and he's flat-footed. Yes, 18 hits now.
So he gets again 5 damage again. And I get 6 temporary hit points. So I'm back to almost full.
Temporary hit points don't stack, dude, and they're not
but
healing.
they're the first to go away, right?
Yeah, but like you already
they don't
have
stack.
temporary hit points.
Don't stack. Oh.
No, they don't stack.
Okay.
So now you just have 6 temporary hit points.
Oh, okay. I thought they did stack. Okay, well,
No.
whatever.
No, whenever you get temporary hit points, just take the one from the highest source. But other than that, they don't stack on top of each other. No.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
All right, but nonetheless, being slashed at all sides, and he has now taken a little bit of your beauty, the large eye begins to like begin looking around right now. Gary, what do you want to do? Hey, dude, I just realized you have had like 5 episodes with different colors of red.
No. My ego is unharmed. My humor is tickled. So Greenish turns around towards the creature, or turns a bit, as it's now attacking Kalo. And he sees a prime opportunity to continue the fight, so I'm just gonna slash at it. Yeah,
All
this
right,
is
very
perfect. So attack number 1. That's a 13 plus 12, I think. Yeah, 12. So 25 against the flat-footed AC.
Mm-hmm. Hits. Not a critical hit, I'm afraid.
I had a 1 and a 2. Now I have a 12 and a 12.
Damn.
Yes, a 12 and a 12, motherfucker. So that would be 28 damage.
28.
Not yet?
As soon as you get to this creature, he has taken a beauty, and now his like survival instinct comes back up. You can already see him begin to move his hands to cast a dimension door and get the heck out of dodge, if he would ever get another turn. How do you want to do this?
So, Greenish just says, I think you really regretted this entire situation, don't you? You might have, you might need to get a better eye for situations here. As I just like slice, just like I twist my axe that's now slicing through the eye, and half of it just plops off. Pull it back out, and just see this weird, like, what's the color of its blood? It's not red. I imagine it's a weird color.
Yeah, it's purple, I think.
Oh yeah, purple. So as I see the purple oozing off my axe, I was like, oh, that's disgusting. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, I am not easily disgusted, but we killed it though.
That you did indeed, as you are
You're
heaving
not
holy.
easily disgusted, but your axe is full of blood and you respond to it with, that's disgusting.
It's purple. It's not supposed to be
So?
purple.
Did you
it's
only
also-
kill things with red blood? That's so amateur.
It's also not just blood, it's also like the inside of eye fluids.
I juice. So it's lavender.
Okay, city boy. You kill a
Hey,
lot of things with
hey,
weird colors
hey.
of blood.
You don't
In
know
the
where
desert,
I'm from.
we have
You
red
don't know
blood.
where I'm
It's a
from.
thing.
You don't know where I'm from.
You don't know where I'm from.
You clearly from
You
the
think you're
desert.
better than me?
You think you're better than me?
Sorry, I'm getting into the Jersey thing apparently.
You think you're
wow.
better than me? Huh?
Well, you think you're better than me?
Huh? Come on,
Well,
that
this
guy.
discussion is
Show you
going
who's
on.
better.
Kalo is gonna go ahead and try to dispel magic on the mark if it's still there.
I guess the initiative order is still going on because PvP is now commencing, but
Oh no!
Again?
Oh no! This is
No, I was
Pork's
kidding.
ego was hit.
I was kidding though, but like like Greenish won't actually go like, you think you're better than, but Greenish will be like,
Yes, I'm used to being red and not this viscous.
ugh, and he's like slides it off, like it's more like a jellyfish on his axe than blood, you know, like
Pork's gonna just run a finger through it. What's it taste like?
Make a fortitude save.
Oh, why? Oh my god. Greatest like heaves a little bit in his mouth, like.
14.
14. It tastes like eye, and you know how this tastes like. Why do you know how eyes taste like?
It's like a bloody
Use every
placenta.
part
I
of
don't
the
know.
animal.
Yeah, fair enough.
I imagine it's like a
Eyes-
bloody
eyes are
placenta.
actually-
That's disgusting.
It's probably more like a very salty grape.
For this moment, though, after it revealed, like, this visage is something that you actually might do know, Gary. So go ahead and roll me another desert lore check.
That would be a 14 on my desert lore.
14. All right, yeah. With the -5, you get it exactly. The C would be 19, and now with the -5, it is 14. You have heard of the Aghash. You have also heard that, like, different. You were pretty close with your first assessment. You have different, like, kinds of jinns and things that make their home in the desert, like elemental beings. But if one would to become completely corrupted and turned into some sort of fiendish creature, then you would go and have yourself an Aghast, a fiendish creature that is opposed to anything beautiful and wanders the deserts in search of beauty to remove it, or to, as happened with Kalo, humiliate and undermine their beauty.
Damn. Like I like the word agast, but I would call it an asgast. Like I said in chat. But also welcome raiders. So awesome that you're here. We're playing a
Ooh.
little one shot, going through some desert ruins. Like we're Indiana Jonesing this up with a lot of violence.
All right.
By the way, Dungeon Daddy, I used the funds that you gave us to buy healing potions. So I'm gonna drink my moderate one now because I am hurt.
Gluk, 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 gluk. And in so doing, indeed, you go to tend to your wounds with these magical means. As you are still in this small cave outcrop within the desert, you realize that as soon as you have killed this creature, the sandstorm outside begins to lessen, and over like the course of the next half an hour, it will die down completely and stop, as it was a magical creation of the Aghash.
Question: is the mark of the outcast still on me?
There is no real mark on you, but as you detect magic, you do see that there is some sort of aura on top of you. If you can dispel magic, we can go and try, if you could go and try and cast that and see if you can remove the curse on
Spell
yourself.
magic and curse, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Oh. I
I
don't think
rolled
that's...
really-
I'm gonna go use dispel magic, see what happens.
Oh,
do I
you
have to
have-
roll for something?
You have the spell?
Uh,
It's a spell.
Yeah,
You
I have
have
a spell.
Oh,
Yeah.
you roll your spell against the spell DC of the caster, with a difference in level, I believe, added to it between your spell level and the spell level of.
Yeah. I've just looked up the counteracting rules.
It's- It's surprisingly intuitive, but also surprisingly complex.
Yeah. DC, if it's a spell, use the caster's DC. All right. So, success, counteract the target if its counteract level is no more than 1 higher than your effect's counteract level. And yeah, so basically, what you need for this, because this was a spell of 4th level, because you are going to use a spell of 2nd level, you will need a critical success to be able to get this curse off of you. But you can go ahead and try. So right now, spellcasting ability modifier. So basically, make a spell attack roll. Is
I
what
rolled a
this is.
natural 19 plus a 9, so that's
Plus
28.
28. The DC is 21, so it is a success, but it's not a critical success.
So what does it do? Nothing?
So it fails.
Yeah.
So it is a success. Counteract the target if its counteract level is no more than 1 higher than your spell's effect counteract level. So
Yeah.
basically, you have a 2nd level spell, so it could counteract up to 3rd level magic with this, but it is 4th level.
The curse remains.
God damn it.
I say don't waste your spell slots on this any further. You have time later.
A valiant
I'm
effort.
not gonna try and roll a 20 every time. No. Oh.
Yeah,
A
but I mean,
valiant effort. Oh,
like the thing
Marangara,
is
thank you for
though,
the-
the thing is though, you're a sorcerer. I understand.
Yeah.
I didn't know this before this conversation, but you're a sorcerer. So, you know,
Yeah.
you can try this every day a few times, try and go for that critical hit. But for now, we're limited on spells because we're, like, in danger and on an adventure. So I would say save those slots, baby.
Expect him to be so high level, so I was like,
Yeah, fair. That makes sense.
I just thought, I'll just try it once, see what happens.
So as Bork is drinking those potions, Granish looks at him.
It's just the one, because I rolled real
potion.
fucking well on my moderate, and I'm back up to 42.
Perfect. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
And the smell pervades the entire cave. Good. Good.
It smells like jerky and whiskey.
It seems that the storm will be dying down. Once it is gone, shall we resume our journey then?
Yeah. I refocus.
Yes?
Well,
Sorry,
Yeah.
refocus?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Jesus Christ,
refocus for
Daddy.
10 minutes.
Very well.
Then
Take your time.
give me my focus point back so I can use my spell again later.
no.
Very well.
What time of day would it be roughly? Is it like midday, late afternoon?
I think this was middle of the day, yeah. So our journey got interrupted by the sandstorm. I'll reiterate for Wouter. Our journey got interrupted by the sandstorm and we had to take cover, and then we found this guy, but we have several hours of daylight to continue our journey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I say after that half an hour we take our time to rest and recuperate and then we move on? You two
Yeah.
okay with that?
Does someone have
I'm
medicine, by the
fine
way?
with that.
Because I need a bit of a healing.
I don't, but I do have a lesser healing potion if you want it.
It's kind of a waste, though, if someone...
Yeah, if Bork has plenty of potions, then why not?
It would be my last potion. I
Oh,
Yeah, so
want
that's
then-
kind of a waste.
Unless the DM can be like, no, if you use the rest of your 100 gold to buy 2 more moderates, I'm okay with it.
I have in the morning, the next morning, I could perform some healing. We still have
Okay,
several
fine.
hours. With a bit of luck, nothing happens, and in the morning, I can use some magic
Okay.
to help.
Let me put it this way: if we get attacked again, I'll give you the potion.
Thanks, bruh.
That seems like an appropriate compromise.
Okay.
For now, save your own foods and supplies and drinks for yourself.
Okay, heading out. Let's
We
go.
will die if only one of us is a weak link. So think of yourself first.
Your face is a weak link.
You would die if
And
one of
I
us
like-
is a weakling. Think of yourself first. That doesn't make sense.
It does not?
No, because if you're basically saying we're as strong as our weakest link, so we need to support the weakest link to be stronger. So not think of
Oh.
ourselves, think of ourselves.
But if you
I'm
make
sorry.
the weakest link stronger, it's no longer the weakest link.
As Kalo begins to say these things, by the way, you two realize that you are getting more annoyed with him than you normally would. You actually feel that he has become more obnoxious because of the curse.
I don't.
No, Kalo, what I mean is we leave the
Technically-
weakest link behind. So you make
Oh.
sure you're not a weak link.
Bork used to be a bartender, so I think he's got a pretty high tolerance for annoying people. Also, he's sipping his whiskey, you know?
Like, he feels a tingle, like, this is gonna be one of those guys
Yeah.
at the bar, which is gonna be annoying all night long. And, like,
No,
he
it's-
can't-
It's the guy sitting at the corner of the bar that you don't really want to talk to, but it's not busy enough to ignore him. But he keeps telling the same fucking story a million times over, and you're just like, oh man, would you just shut up for
I
5
think the
fucking
joke is
minutes?"
also, like, he's ridiculously handsome, so it's a bit of a paradox, right? This
Yeah.
18 charisma guy who's fucking annoying
That guy
now.
is never handsome. It is a guy who has no idea that body language is a thing and refuses to acknowledge that you don't want to be a part of this conversation, which is basically a monologue about how shitty his life is.
And with that,
Yeah. We move on.
Can you tell that I've been in this situation before?
Yeah, it's oddly specific.
Tap into that, Abe, when you roleplay. Tap into that. So, with that, all of you leave this cave and continue your travels. Up until now, Yarish, you have actually made enough headway with your travels that, with a little bit of luck, you might be able to reach the Alcahadera ruins this nightfall already. So let's see if that can be done. As the three of you go ahead and continue your travels, I will once again need you to go ahead and make me a survival or lore desert check. What are the tactics of our two companions?
I'm gonna still check the ground for shifting sands, basically.
All right.
I'ma keep sniffing.
Very good. Go ahead and make perception checks then, and the survival / making your way through the desert check.
I'll take assurance. I don't want to risk it. So 17.
All right. Very well. 17 it is.
12.
12?
I can still somehow smell that bloody eye on me. It's
25.
weird.
Like, you've never
25.
had to describe it before, but today you smell like eye.
Like bloody eye.
Bloody
All
eye.
right. Oh, and Marangara had given you an inspire edge, so you can go ahead and add 5 to that one, which then becomes
that
a
makes
17.
it a 17.
Yeah,
Very
so that's
nice.
a lot better.
Thank you very much. I will indeed use that.
As it seems the magic of these shifting sands sometimes allow for a little bit of respite. Then, as you guys make your way, Grainish, you are capable enough to guide your companions through the sands, and eventually, as you move forward and forward for a couple of hours, the sun setting in the in the west, excuse me. That is not how it works. Sun setting in the west. That is actually where you guys are
It's
heading.
your world, man.
Yeah, but that's actually where you're heading a little bit. And right now you can already see that, like, around every 30 to 40 feet or something, you find something of vegetation. A yellowed bush, a small group of a couple of cacti. And eventually, as you begin to continue your travels, you even have one footfall where you have solid ground under your feet, and there you can see a long forgotten, covered over like stone walkway, knowing that you are getting very close to these ruins that you need to be at. And at that very moment, Kalo, while you were keeping an eye out, you see that there are actually some other tracks of other like humanoid people, like footfalls in the sand, turning away a little bit to the right.
There's some people on the right, I believe. Not sure if they're friendly, though.
You're sure, people? I want to make a survival check, see if I can, like... Can I do that? Make a survival? No, that's just for tracking, actually.
For what?
No,
Depends
never
on
mind,
how.
never mind. I was thinking about identifying that, but...
Well,
his-
that would be a survival check, I think,
Yeah.
to realize what kind of creatures these footfalls belong to.
Alright, then I'll do that. 7 plus 7 is 14, though.
I mean, you can see that that it at least comes from like boots. So no cloven hooves. The footfalls seem to be from medium creatures,
Okay.
but it's hard to distinguish like how large they were, if there's anything weird on them, how many there were. You do think that there are multiple, like at
Alright.
least 3.
So Grainish looks at them and kind of, you know, just adds to what people already suspected. Humanoids, our size. We want to go there, or do we just want to continue our path? I'm not sure if they're rivals or not.
Well, I think we're gonna have to meet to face them at some point. So might as well just go in on our terms.
Fair point.
I'm not gonna do the talking though.
Why not? Yeah, I get it. And like, there's a slight annoyance that Grainish just feels as he says that, and then he's like, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. That must be very annoying.
Yes.
Bork,
Sorry too.
Yeah.
thoughts? Continue path or chase whoever these are?
Which option gives us a bigger chance of finding something that's worth money?
I say we go on the path we were, and with a bit of luck, we find whatever loot there is before them. But we risk
they've
the
been
chance
here
of being
before us.
ambushed by them. If they are rivals. Perhaps these are friendly nomads simply traversing the sands. Perhaps they are archaeologists. Perhaps they are looters with violent means for whomever rival their need for treasure.
I think we shouldn't let the unknown factor
Grown-ups are talking.
loom on us.
I say we keep going.
Okay, okay, fine. Don't. Okay. My opinion doesn't matter, I guess. Feel like an outcast already.
Well, I mean, Graynish hasn't decided yet on his vote. He
Bort
thinks
just literally just went shh and ignored everything he was saying.
Graynish just thinks for a moment. I say we ready ourselves for the inevitable attack. And if it does not come, then we are lucky, and the gods favor us. But I think speed might be of the essence here then. We know we will be careful. We do not know if they will be.
Okay. So we head towards the tracks?
Yeah, but, unless you seriously object because Graynish isn't married to the idea, but...
That was I suggesting, just following the tracks.
No, my suggestion is just keep going for the ruins.
Ah, god damn it!
So what will be, people?
Geralt's
Yeah.
just gonna be annoyed and just goes with the group, but he's gonna be obviously annoyed about it.
Very well. So you
What
will
happens
leave.
to me?
So you will leave like the stash of magic items in their other account. Good. Right. So with that, you are choosing.
Such a dick.
You are choosing speed over possible danger in this one. So with that, you continue your path.
With his amount of hit points, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
I do actually, now you do say this though, I do draw my shield and my axe.
Just to be at the ready.
make sure. Yeah.
Very well. And as you begin to continue to make your way, now with the last rays of sunlight still illuminating your current path, you begin to walk towards what seems to be the remnants of an entrance into whatever this is. You find a couple of crumbled down pillars eventually as the dunes of sand make way for their appearance, and as you begin to walk forward, you eventually actually find yourself at the gates of whatever this place might be. You take a couple of steps forward, and then another one, until eventually you see in front before you a ring of ruined walls and crumbled down buildings with a small staircase leading up to it. And as you take a couple of steps over this, you begin to hear a voice. And who are the likes of you then?
I grab my battle axe. Fucking not again. Alright, where is this creep?
What has brought you here to this place? Are you here to steal from us, as those that came before?
Great creature, we wish to learn. We will take, but only from a place of worship and a wish for knowledge. We will add to its knowledge. That is why we have brought this one. He brings his own culture. We are but nomads. We trade. We do not take, but we give in return. Would that be sufficient for a monster of the desert, such as ourselves?
Go ahead and make a diplomacy check for me.
Oh,
Bork's
yeah.
gonna lead in. Bork's gonna lead into Garish and go, "Wait, you gonna leave Kalo in exchange for riches and treasure? Because I
No.
would be okay with that."
No, he will leave his art, which is as valuable as any book.
Ah, right. You're one of those.
Oh,
Fine.
You
okay.
haven't seen my art yet, man.
Well, I'm like kind of
You're
bluffing.
cursed, and I find you incredibly annoying. So, leaving you in exchange for treasure, starting to sound like a good idea.
So I have untrained improvisation, which gives me a little bonus on this.
Lindsay's.
So that gives me a total of... Wait, round it up? Yeah, down. 17.
17, all right. With that, you see, coming from a couple of pine trees to the forward right, almost coming out of the tree, all of these different vines bundled together into a desert flower-ridden, complete vine beard, if you will. And as this creature takes a couple of steps, his foot falls in the sand, each one leaving in its wake the blooms of all these different kinds of desert flowers. He takes a couple of steps, and now you realize that you are pretty much dead center in the middle of what seems to be the entrance to this place. We can also go to the battle map to give a little bit of an idea of your surroundings and
Perfect.
where you are right now.
I switched. Let me see what kind of view I can give people here. Oh, there we go. Beautiful map.
Yeah.
It's a bit blurry on my part, but no, it's good. It's good.
I just needed to load in a little bit.
Yeah.
You see, however, that this creature does carry with him what seems to be made from the leaves of these plants like a sling. And within it, he's just like, woof, 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 slowly twirling it around. Not aggressively yet, but you do see that inside it, he does not hold like a rock. He actually has a skull in there.
I love
You
it.
say that you come to bring knowledge. Is that true? You there?
He's pointing at me, isn't he?
He is.
Time for your curse to suck.
Okay, we're willing to trade. It's just basically what I'm going to say.
All right. Is that all that you were going to say?
Basically, the less I say, the less chance I have of knowing him.
All right. Roll diplomacy twice and use the lesser result.
Well, I already rolled a 20, so that's good news. 19!
Ooh, so a natural 20 and a natural 19 on your die?
Yeah.
There go your good rolls for tonight.
That's all
Oh,
my
yeah.
good rolls. I'm done.
It's okay. It's okay. We got 25 minutes left.
24, at total of 24.
Total of 24? All right.
Let's
I-
just
I-
check up
I want to
my
aid him,
diplomacy.
if that's
20,
okay.
22, sorry. 23.
Can I-
23?
Number. Yeah, on diplomacy.
Can I try and aid him?
Well, you already did your own
Oh, that's fair. That's
talk
fair.
about this.
That's fair.
So with that, traders within the desert. Or are you just here to take, like the others? You, little one, you have remained silent in all of this? What are your words to speak?
You call him little.
Punk!
Oh god. Oh god.
I'm 3 feet, okay? I'm really tall for my species. That was really inconsiderate. I'm just gonna say.
Bork goes into rage now.
Go ahead and make like an intimidation check.
I guess.
Bork is basically Tom Cruise with an anger management issue.
So Tom Cruise.
That sounds like a pleonasm, yeah.
Intimidation?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 28 for a natural 20.
All right. In that case, he goes, well, I would never stoop so low as to be discriminatory.
Well, I mean,
He just went with
right?
it again. I would never stoop so low. Oh my god.
Look,
No,
I-
You heard him call me little, right? I mean, this.
no,
this
you
guy-
do not
this
understand.
guy
I have many friends that are leshies that are small.
You got a lot of short friends. That's supposed to make me feel better. Now you're starting to gaslight me? Like that's supposed to help this situation? What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Look, this has all become very uncomfortable, and let's just start over again.
Good. If you feel uncomfortable, maybe you'll never do it again.
Well,
Oh,
Look.
dying.
I'm just here God damn it, I can't even use my words anymore. Guarding this place.
You're a guardian gardening?
I'm a guardian. Yes, that's what I mean.
Right.
Yes, indeed. Look, I am here to guard this place and make sure that the magic.
I'm not hearing an apology, so, you might as well start over again.
Go ahead and make another intimidation check, but I will use my anti-luck on this one. So go ahead and roll twice and take the lower results.
Gradish is just like completely like unaware of all these social things happening right now. He's just very confused at this massive magical guardian apologizing. He's just like, what kind of spell is Bork using? Like
13.
How much?
13.
13. All right, that's a critical failure. So he goes, look, I am not the one that needs to give an apology, okay? Like, other people came before all of you right here, and now he grabs, like, the skull from his sling, and they try to loot and take everything that we have created here. Like, my small friends over here, and at this point he actually...
You're doing it again. Just call them friends. There's no need to call them small. Also, why are you blaming us for shit other people did?
Wait, for a moment, I need to get, like, the minis out real quick.
I would still like an answer to my question. Why are you blaming us for shit other people did?
Look, I am not blaming anybody. I am just being careful, and I am supposed to guard this shit, alright? I didn't
Well, if
ask
people
to wanna
keep
be
coming
here.
in and taking shit, you're not doing a very good job, are you?
Well, alright, now you are just getting rude.
I'm not. I'm just stating the obvious. And he who states the obvious is never wrong.
Oh, right, so your stature is not something that is obvious in this... I am 7 feet tall, alright? In
Congratulations.
comparison to the rest of our ensemble that we have gathered here, the amount of feet that you have is less than that of ours.
Well, I mean, if you're 7 feet tall, everything's going to be small and little.
Well,
Why didn't you
no.
call them small and
That's
little?
what they say
You
on
only
my
called me little.
What?
What the hell do you want to trade?
Bork looks over at Garnish, like, mission accomplished, right?
Garnish is confused, but kind of gets a nod like, I think, good job? And
This was so
Wait,
much fun. Yeah,
wait,
it's a
shit,
sassy
now I'm
book.
saying Garnish. Fuck, Graynish. So Graynish looks over at the creature and says,
We will take from the old culture that was before us, but we will add to it our own art, our knowledge, and some of our equipment. Would that be sufficient? How long before you answer?
and Graynish sees an opportunity here.
How long have you been here?
Me? Well, I have lived here for many, many years, but normally I go to sleep for great periods of time before these these friends of mine sprout up again.
He's
Give me a moment
learning.
real quick.
He's
Give me a
learning.
moment.
At least I made a
So
lasting impression.
he huddles like together with these small cactus leshies that are walking up, and they basically just go talking with each other. Yes, well, no, I do not know what they carry, but they were rude indeed. No, but miscommunications happen now and again. No, we're not going to eat them. No.
My
Right.
my people have been coming here for decades, generations. I have been here many times as a child. Perhaps then you would remember my name, my appearance, my aura.
Well,
I slept
closer.
under the shade of these walls many a time, and we have benefited from the oasis that sprouts from here. Many times I would not defile the place unnecessarily, nor entirely. We would take, yes, but not what is required for you to survive, of course.
Go ahead and make another diplomacy check.
I'm like, what? We were already out of the combat. Why is he still talking?
17, sorry.
17. We will see what you have to trade, and with that we will decide. But first, and he takes a couple of steps forward, like gets all the way close. At this moment, I do actually need all of you to go ahead and make a fortitude save.
Yeah.
Oh no, is he stinky?
Well, not per se stinky, but
He's
20.
present.
23.
25, 23,
20.
20. All right. Let's see here. All right. Bork, Radish, both of you are A-okay. It seems actually that now that he walks towards you, you do remember the smell of these like thick, heavy pollens that are coming off this creature. This is the sense of all the different plant life that live along these ruins put together. But Kalo, I'm sorry, man, you are allergic.
Okay.
You become sick
Or
in
it's gonna
two.
do a little dog sneeze. Like,
Second 2. Okay.
Yep. But as you come towards him and he begins, you begin to sneeze and stuff, and Borg also, oh, sorry. And he wiggles a little bit, and some pollen fall
yeah,
to
no,
the floor.
that's gonna help.
But with that little shimmy, he also is able to suppress it. So with that, he turns it off, and you are no longer sickened after like a couple of seconds after the aura dissipates.
Bork is gonna start digging into his backpack, and he's gonna pull out a wineskin. I'd rather not part with this, because I made it myself, and I was gonna drink pretty much all of it by the time I got back into town. It's a beer that I've called Bork's Brew, and I hand it over.
Thank you. Well then, a peace offering, and the two cactus leshies come walking towards
Alcohol always works. Alcohol always works.
towards you, and a cactus leshie can actually open himself up a little bit, and they have like these bowls made of these leaves that have been dried together and layered on top of each other, and they basically just pour you all three a cup of cactus water from their reservoir. They can actually fill a wineskin with cactus water.
That is
Nice.
disturbing and awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna also talk about the disturbing part. It's
then.
like, yeah, okay. But Grainish happily drinks it, almost familiarly.
Very well.
Bork is gonna try to pour a little bit into his water skin and then drink the rest.
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to sip or chug it, but I'm just gonna go in between and just drink half.
Very well. And for the rest of this this large creature can sip your wineskin. Excuse me. Can sip your wineskin, Bork, and he can just go, "Well then, one trade has been made. What about the two of you?"
I'm gonna just show up and show him off with all my paints and stuff, and say, "Well, I can spruce this place up a bit for you if you'd like something made, commissioned art. A warning that they shouldn't come here. Whatever you want, I can paint it."
All right, go ahead and make a diplomacy check. Roll twice, take the lower.
Okay, that's a natural 5. Then higher than 5, so that's a 9.
9. Cool. Look. This one has traded fluid for fluid. A commodity rare to these lands. And you come here and you offer to vandalize our great domain? What the hell is this? Are these the trades that you had been talking about? And with that, he wraps his hand around like his sling for a moment. Not amused.
Bring it, bitch!
I have these
Caleb's
ruins.
sick of this curse. He's ready to throw down. Let's go.
I'm gonna go! I'm gonna go!
My people have been coming here for generations, enjoying the shade, the bounties of your growth. But it has been unchanging. Imagine if it were to be more interesting. How long have you enjoyed this particular view? Would you still enjoy it in the next hundreds of years, or perhaps maybe,
What are you getting to?
Well, I think vandalize is the wrong word. If he were to perhaps restore it to bits, to some of its old glory, would that not be valuable?
Go ahead and roll me a diplomacy check.
Can I
15.
aid him on this?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Can I aid him on this?
And in what way do you do so? What does Bork say? What does Bork do?
I'm just gonna gesture to the walls around us and say, imagine if these were restored to their former glory.
Yeah, like they're decayed and old and dirty and shit.
All right, go ahead and roll.
A nice frescoes never hurt anybody.
All right, so what is your diplomacy check?
My diplomacy check is not bad. Typity. Mine is 24.
24. All right, so that's a +1 to you for a total of
15 plus 1 is 16.
16.
Plus
16.
another one is 17. Sorry, the 16 is from untrained improvisation.
Oh, right.
I'm
All
not
right, sorry.
trained. I'm not
Right.
charismatic. I'm a smart.
I was trained.
Yeah, you should have done this, but my character
I
feels.
gave him idea.
Former glory? This is all the glory that we need here. You better come up with some better way than to ask me if you could vandalize this place. What do you offer? Or we shall offer you.
Bork's gonna kind of lean into Caleb. Can't you make a little statue that looks like him or something? Make a little altar idea,
Interesting.
wish.
I'm not a
Fine.
sculptor, I'm a painter.
Fine.
You do realize that, with a couple of bad rolls, he is becoming more agitated. Perhaps the alcohol in the beer also making him a little bit more of a fighter.
Oh shit, he's an angry drunk. No!
It seems to be an angry drunk. What do you guys do?
I can. Oh wait, he wants water, right? He likes water. I can create water.
No, but
Well,
we
what?
already traded fluid for fluid. I don't think
You
this is gonna make
said
him
it was
very
a rare
happy.
commodity, so you said you like water. I have even more water. Do you want more water? I have more water. Want more water?
Go ahead and make a diplomacy check. Roll twice, take the lower.
Okay, a 9 and a 4. Yay! That's an 8. Let's
An
go.
8 total.
Go.
With that, he just speaks up and goes. He takes a last bit of your wineskin, Bork, and then he crumbles your wineskin up in his one free hand.
Hey, come on, that's unnecessary.
You came here speaking of trade, but all you give is the same shit and offer to vandalize this place.
Okay.
Excuse me, did you forget that I just gave you home-brewed beer?
And with that, I will allow you to leave with your life.
I will start raging.
Yeah, you guys didn't roll all that well.
No.
Yeah, well,
And just before I rage, I'm gonna say, you can take him, but he's my way out of here. So I'm gonna make sure he stays alive.
Okay, thanks.
And then I rage.
Thanks, bro.
Make one last diplomacy check.
I think that's a beautiful ending. Like,
Yeah.
you know the
11.
11. You know what? I'll give it to you. His sacrifice will be accepted.
That
Cool,
just
we're
giving
leaving
me up.
table. Yep.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna use my ventriloquist ring
Uh-huh.
to make a sound behind him saying, "Hey guys, I found the loot."
Hell yeah. All right. So, let's see. Ooh, that's a natural 2 on the die.
So he's not gonna see the illusion. I think it's 19.
All right, yeah, so 16 on his perception check, so he believes the illusion. So at this moment, he turns himself around, quickly gets up.
and all three of us start running to regroup and replan.
and as this creature, together with the Leshies, make sure that there are no other invaders here, y'all haul ass away from these ruins. And as eventually you hear like one
25
last
movements.
roar, you are able to make your way safely out of these ruins, at least for now.
You bitch!
I
And
think
that's what we'll end
that's...
today's
You're
session.
gonna leave me there to get eaten?
Yes, because you're an ugly, annoying fuck because of the curse. And the
Oh,
desert
yeah.
boy is gonna lead me through the desert back to the people who I owe money.
So it's not okay to call you small, but it's okay to call me ugly because of
Yeah.
a curse.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
get
exactly
it
how
either,
that works.
but also I will not involve myself in this discussion. And
I don't want to fight now.
I do think
I'm
that's a
mad.
beautiful ending, us running away from
I'm
the boss
mad.
fight.
Hell yeah, guys.
But with 5 minutes left, yeah, we're running away
Yeah.
from the boss
Yeah.
fight.
Seriously though, I think this might be like a variety of this character I might want to actually play in the future, because it's a fighter with the druid archetype dedication. And I've been like looking at the things, and becoming a fighter who gets to wild shape
That's
is
so-
very
yeah, that's
interesting,
pretty
because a
cool.
fighter is very good at wild shaping. Like it's interesting. A fighter's better at wild shaping than a druid. Like the numbers are speaking
Oh.
here, and it's an
Okay.
interesting amount of numbers.
Yeah, I'm still curious with basically being able to crawl up to 20 feet and basically have the cover bonus.
I'm seriously still dying at the fact that like combat was about to happen. You were like, I fall on the ground and I crawl away.
Kiss.
That was beautiful.
Assume position.
I'm never
Oh,
gonna.
yeah.
Forget
But at least all y'all did find the ruins, and I still have a lot of random encounters for desert environments, at least at the ready for when we eventually turn back towards the Tsunade Desert. But for now,
Oh
this
man,
is
I
all the
miss
time that we'll
Bork so much. I should really play him more.
Aw. There
I
will
have
be
to
more
say,
chances to play more.
I keep being impressed, Ave, at the amount of jokes that I do not get. And I've watched How I Met Your Mother, right? Now, the amount of jokes I do not
You
get.
better than me.
Like, it takes place in New York. You figure I'd learn a few things, but no, I don't. Like, you keep making jokes.
Literally nothing is based on How I Met Your Mother,
I
except for
know.
that you think you're better than me. That was the drunk train thing.
Yeah,
but the
that
rest
was-
is all
that
pork,
was-
man.
That was no, but aside from that, like I figured, I watched one show about New York. I know about New York, but I don't.
Yeah,
And you do.
They have
yeah.
the best pizza.
They do have incredibly tasty pizza.
That's fair.
But for now, the stream will come to a close.
Yeah.
This time we had a nice little one-shot with the three of us, so thanks for everybody that put in like the different illusions, including an illusion that I just ran with and now is a crystal of a earth elemental thing in Bork's backpack, the only loot that you guys had until now. Like, I don't know, maybe even the three of you might still stay there and try another day to infiltrate the ruins and get more loot for Bork, so they don't have to leave empty-handed. But we will have to leave empty-handed right now. Next week, we will finally be able to get into the actual boss fights of our main villain, the Shepherd, the crystalline Aboleth, all the way deep down in a sunken temple of draconic magic is waiting for all of you. And it's going to be an interesting encounter. It's going to be nice.
It's gonna be nice.
So that is going to be next week. So we hope to see you there. But for now, enjoy the last hour of your weekend. We love you. Good luck with the work week, and bye-bye.
Yeah, Crystalline Aboleth kind of sounds like a stripper name.